Ladies and gentlemen, the presentations and exhibits and its representatives on this 17th German Prevention Day showed to me, and maybe also to you, that prevention and crime prevention has further processed in various dimensions. When you look at the first and the whole range toward today, you see the dimension of thoughts and ideas as to prevention towards reality, the dimension of short excitement maybe, and some fire burning that soon is extinguished, to stability, the individual and sometimes very creative programs, to cooperation and coordination, the dimension of steady new invention of the wheel, so to speak, and at the other side, being ready to learn from others and to create synergy. And finally, the dimension of work in the, subjectively speaking, very justified belief in the effectiveness of what you do yourself, and then at the other side, the actual effects, including expected and all unexpected, but not necessarily completely unexpected, unforeseeable, or maybe unpleasant realization. Altogether, all efforts as to prevention have become more renowned. Maybe you remember the comments of some authorities, sometimes even in the police. What prevention is actually is, you might understand what I mean. The basic idea of all preventive measurements in all areas is prevention. Comes from Latin, being able to foresee and act foreseeingly. What do you mean, foresee? I mean, you can't really predict the future, but prevention as to dangers of the future deducted from the knowledge basis and looking at the past and what actually happened as to damage, accidents, and so on. Prevention, therefore, grows from systematic and system-like knowledge that we elaborated and prevent even chronic damage. Why typical damage and typical dynamics? It's due to the complexity of all the working fields. Scientifically speaking, but also in reality, almost never assume strict, easy effect and result principles, but it's more complex likelihood connections. If you look at numbers, you might be even more insecure as to single cases. In biological and medical prevention fields, there might be a lucky coincidence of a simple solution. Prevention is better than healing. Might be true in that case. Prevention might be better, but healing might even be impossible. It might even be cheaper, a lot cheaper. There's a simple test that everyone might know from you who are parents or will be, that all newborns have certain things that they cannot deal with when it comes to metabolism. There is a test that is quite easy. It used to cost 10 D-Mark, Deutsche marks, and now it should be 10 euros. And it easily shows you a genetically caused disruption of the metabolism, and you might even adjust the food. And the end, what's the end? The genetic disposal is not does not have to be treated, because it is almost 100% sure that this child will never ever suffer from this issue again. This clear case is not as common, but what is more fascinating for us is, and will even become more fascinating, is the determined results of epigenetics to put it in a simple term, genetics and how the environment influence genetics, something that psychologists who'd like to see it in a more general way have seen that for a while. We have recently found that out. A neuropsychologist and a criminologist, a lady who received even several awards, conducted a study with 4,000 children and tested the results, and the behavior that was sticking out was investigated, and they found out that there are certain genetical factors that might even be determining factors of those children showing different behavior. And there's an analysis of this study that is very pretty as to pictures and results. And if you think of the family and stable family situations, this is very simplified now, but if you have family and help for families and assistance, those having this genetical disposal are 100% more likely to show this different behavior than other children not growing up in this environment. So it will only become effective under unpleasant influences from the environment. To put it in a simple way, but with a simple adjustment of the environment, this issue may be avoided, certainly. To put it in different words, the environment decides what our genetic situation will become like. I think I got very good impressions, and I heard convincing examples of early stage help and assistance, free time offers at school during training for violence-free conflict solutions, victim and offender balance, crime police advice, modern offers of parent training, increasement of competence and self-confidence, offers by court and parole officers, and finally something that seems to be more and more effective, the collaboration between the various fields. On this Congress, we saw very promising examples of systematic, meaning crucial and needed ways and programs, organizations of steady cooperation, and that's what I would like to emphasize: steady cooperation and reflected cooperation within the administrations, locally speaking, and also addressing the citizens. To put it in different words, examples for effort, reflected effort, and long-term effort in order to help each other and to pass on knowledge and to correct each other, discussion about the background of the different working fields, learning about the specific features of the others as people and also as organizations. On this Congress, we saw and we heard, also in touch with numerous foreign participants, that Europe becomes smaller and smaller, that the next generations will face the third industrial or post-industrial revolution, meaning the internet. The virtual reality becomes everyday life. Virtual reality will become part of the everyday life, and including all exciting and stimulating positive possibilities to be able, with one click, to just get information on potentially every aspect of modern life, but also including the danger of slipping out of reality, and unfortunately also the increasing danger of real damage and, extremely speaking, even killed. Family, kindergarten, schools are more in demand than ever in the future. Internet competence needs to be taught and needs to be passed on. The promising but also critical aspect is that the effective teaching of strong competence always depends on whether a child and a young person perceives the people doing so as authentical and trust these people. And just because they trust these people, they might be willing to accept what they're being told, not just in a strict way, but just information. To put it in a simple term, polemically speaking, for every smartphone and every modern tool, and I say that as an elderly person, I'm sure every kindergarten will have to purchase those items at some point. We need properly paid kindergarten employees. And to put it even simpler, early security and dangers, world openness, empathy, and ability to cooperation of the next generation, including the directly connected crime prevention effects. It might even be a little peculiar that the kindergartens need to be paid for by parents, but also university, but can't even cost more than 500 euros. And I'm saying that as a teacher at the university, as a professor. Thank you for everything so far. Mr. Marx will also say something about that in a bit, but I would like to tell everyone here in all of yours name, Mr. Marx, that was a very intense preparation and a very effective, efficient, and proper collaboration during the Congress, and for your high degree of effort and dealing with the topic. The less disturbance you have during your Congress, the better you can work. And what was crucial for the climate of this Congress, this cordial addressing of our issues. Thank you very much for coming. And therewith, I will pass it on.